in many cases in the public sector, even at the lower end of the spectrum, you have people making more than the minimum wage. And let me give you a case in point. Let's say a cleaner down at the port makes about $550 a week. A cleaner, no skill, $550 a week. You have hotel workers in this country who have to work even harder, and now you're making $500. There has to be something wrong about that, because the hotel sector is the most lucrative sector in our country. 55% of our GDP is generated from that sector. And I'm of the view that the hotels, or hoteliers for that matter, they can do better. They continue to expand. Some of them diversifying into other businesses from the profits that they make within the hotel sector. We have no difficulty with that. And we're happy too that they are making profits, that they're growing, they're able to sustain themselves. But it comes back to the issue of gain sharing. So we can't promote gain sharing in the public sector and turn a blind eye like the ABW to gain sharing in the private sector. So what we propose to do is to bring the stakeholders together. That is our government, to bring the Hotel Association representing the hoteliers, the Antigua Barbuda Workers Union, Antigua Trades and Labor Union, and other stakeholders. If, for example, hotel owners want to attend directly, we'll also engage them, for us to look at this issue and to see how we can have a more equitable remuneration package for hotel workers. And it may also go beyond hotel workers, because I think as we move towards amending the law, we don't want to appear to be discriminatory. So we may probably look at the turnover of the business. So let's say, for example, if we made a determination that if you have a turnover more than $5 million a year, that your minimum pay should be, let's say, $2,500 a month. Just as an example. Then it will affect other entities. So even the large supermarkets, for example, First Choice, Epicurean, and so on, their workers who are on minimum pay will also benefit, because the law in that case will be structured in such a way that based on the turnover, their minimum pay will be higher than for the little mom and pops and so on, where we say is what, $9.90? What's the minimum pay now?
About $8.90.
$8.90. So whereas is
$9.80 somewhere around here.
okay,
No.
so
I
somebody
think-
can message us and tell us what
I
it
think
is.
we were at 820. We're 890. Yeah.
$8.90.
Yeah.
Right. So whereas we accept that for the smaller businesses, you have to be careful with that minimum wage, because some of these small businesses, they may be making a 10% profit per year. And if you do a 10% increase in minimum wage, you put them in a loss-making situation and you're purchasing jobs. So we understand that. And we understand too, the larger businesses, that we should not be pushing them to pay salaries and wages that are inflationary. That will also create another problem, because you have to balance whatever increase you give workers. But at the same time, you cannot have this inequitable situation in which hotel workers are making less today than what they made 30 years ago. And let me explain the implication as to what is happening here. What is happening here now is that the government, the public sector now has become the employer of first resort, the employer of choice. Remember I said to you, prior to independence, people rushing
Yes.
to get a job in the private sector, in the hotel sector and so on. What is happening now, you have Antiguans and Barbudans, and even CARICOM nationals who are now resident here for some time, they're now taking the position that, look, they don't want no hotel jobs. So they're coming and lining up now to get jobs in the government. Now, we have assisted in the sense that I believe that we have added at least 2,000 plus, maybe 3,000 additional workers within the last 10 years to the public sector. However, that is not a sustainable position. We cannot continue to expand the public sector. Now, we have had situations, many of us in the cabinet, in which we have had constituents who have come to us and asked us for employment. And when you recommend them to the hotel sector, they tell you point blank that they're not going there.
I get a lot of that.
And I'm not exaggerating, but I'm just trying to tell you the problem that is developing, that individuals are literally moving away from that sector, those who are resident here for a long period, those who are citizens, to the extent what is happening now. And I don't have no issue with CARICOM nationals coming here. You know, I'm the CARICOM king. In fact, there's no other prime minister in the history of this country that has made more CARICOM national citizens of this country than Gaston Browne. None. Not even Severe.